I wanted to make a video, but I didn't have any good ideas, so I asked people on Twitter what I should make a video of, and somebody said that I should read the Bible. So I went and I looked for my Bible. Turns out I don't have a Bible. I know I used to, but I think I sold it at a used bookstore. It was not an heirloom. I probably sold it back to the same bookstore that I bought it from. Don't know why. One thing I found that could possibly equal the same boring level of the Bible would be the artist statements in New American Painting magazine. So this is something that I've struggled with on a personal, emotional level. So maybe now I can share this with you and we together can find a way to cope with the problems presented in this publication. So my main concern with these is that, well, let's just read one and you'll see what the deal is. I hope I'm not violating any laws. See, I think the thing that makes a good artist statement is when it actually says some concrete thing, where I can't just whip this artist statement out and put it with any other fucking thing. So this man, Seth Clark, does paintings of dilapidated houses, which I like. I do paintings of houses. I really like, for some reason, that appeals to me. So this is his thing. For over 3 years, deteriorating architecture has served as the central focus of my work. There is such a presence in the face of these buildings. They are enormous man-made assemblages, huge forces of permanence, but they are collapsing in on themselves. Okay, and he goes on, and that, like, I can't just fucking take his thing, slap it on this crazy bitch, sorry lady, and make it and say, oh yeah, it's just drivel, fucking, just words that have no real meaning, just, you know, interchangeable abstractions that mean nothing. Okay, here's a perfect example. Okay, so this girl does oil paintings, little tiny, little bits of urban decay. These aren't my favorite ever in the history of life and death, but they're fine. She obviously knows how to work the paint, except this one's called mandala. And I can't tell you, if you didn't go to art school, you probably don't know it, but mandalas are the motherfucking, and I know I'm not saying it right and the true fucking whole deal, but that, it just never dies. These people aren't Buddhist. They don't give a fuck. Just because something is a pattern in a circle doesn't make it so. This gets me irritated every time. So her statement, this is Hannah Cole. Skirting the line between abstraction and figuration, I paint visual phenomena that occur at the edges of our perception. So you draw things that you see out of the corner of your eye when you're walking down the street. Okay? Easier ways to say that. I paint things that you usually wouldn't notice. Why couldn't you just say that? In my recent paintings, I render pieces of my daily surroundings that normally go unnoticed. There you go! Just say that straight up to begin with. Then she goes on and on. Not really, it's a tiny little paragraph, but it could have just been one sentence, thank you. I like when they just put a quote, that works. These are moderately big oil paintings of interior spaces. Okay? This person's name is Echo Egerbrecht, who did a residency at Bemis in Omaha where I was working last summer, or winter, or fall, fuck, who knows. But here's her thing. My work is about an emotional and intellectual curiosity. Find me a fucking painting that's not about emotional and intellectual curiosity. Find me a fucking one, and I will give you my fucking firstborn child. This one isn't as bad as a lot of these can be. Wow, this one's all over the place. Okay, this was the cover artist. Her name is Keo Ruko, I'm thinking. She's from Japan. A series of 4 paintings in the Aroma series is my new challenge to express the sense of smell. Something invisible, in quotes, to our eyes but visible on canvas. Women's ability to bear children is one of the most blessed gifts that women possess. But at the same time, women are human beings. Our hair grows under our arms, and our nails get longer. We produce unpleasantness, such as disagreeable body odor. However, that unpleasant body odor of a woman can be very agreeable, cherishing, and sensual to a man who truly loves her. I don't even know what to say about this. The women in these paintings don't have body hair. I don't know if that's relevant. I'm actually enjoying this one personally. That's the funny thing, is you can have a painting that's just totally ruined by a shitty statement, or you can have kind of a mediocre painting that's saved a little bit. I don't know. Maybe not, but kind of. Love paintings of houses. I think that's all people should paint. Especially when they're just straight on like that. For some reason that resonates in my little heart of hearts. Okay, here we go. Here's a gold mine. Christy Rinklin. Okay, so we got like kind of vaguely floral, maybe. Abstract but precise. Which is nice. These are fine. In my paintings, I create elaborately fabricated environments that are under siege by forces of creation and destruction. These works set up a fluid series of oppositions that activate them both visually and conceptually. Surface versus depth, tradition versus new media, representation versus abstraction. What part of anything that she just said could we not say about, like, this painting? I mean, there's not a lot of fluidity there, although there is an ocean in the background. Okay? Can you see any of the shit I'm showing you? I mean, there's definitely a play against surface and depth, because we have this surface grid and then the depth of the landscape. As a historical practice, painting has manipulated space and simulated reality for centuries. Thank you for telling us that. I love when they tell us what the fuck painting is, because we didn't fucking, like, grab this because we know anything about painting. We just were like, oh, pretty pictures, I wonder how they were made. I've never heard of painting before. If we wanted to hear the history of painting, we would have grabbed a fucking history book. Sorry. I'm sorry. These people are gonna somehow magically see my video. They're gonna get so upset. I'm gonna get blacklisted. I'm gonna end up working at Ethan Allen. If I had $1 for every time they say I'm interested in the psychology of the everyday, these are good. I don't care about the statement, but these are cute. They're cows dressed up like Rococo people. I don't know. The worst thing about artist statements from a painting perspective as an artist, and not just as a person who doesn't like horrible writing, is that I have to do it too, and I hate fucking doing it. I hate having to... I like talking about artwork. I don't like having to put a whole statement of, like, this is my thesis idea behind these paintings. Because you're always going to sound like a fucking idiot, you know? If it were so easy to put into words, you wouldn't be fucking painting it. I don't understand why you have to do it. I know that we need explanations for things, because if you have this turned in by, like, a fucking 19-year-old, you need to know that they can say things like, the cycle details the quest of a civilization of mimes, examples of universal gesture and language as they begin their mythic journey into existence. Like, you can't get this published in a book that somebody's going to pay $20 for, unless they know that you know that they know that you know. Here you go. I make large-scale, hyper-realistic oil paintings based on macro photographs I take of the paint on my palette. Good opening sentence. That is what you're painting. You're so smart. Look at these people. That's a good one. I bet the statement sucks. What do you think? As a figurative painter, I am repeatedly confronted with the physical and psychological landscape of the female body. My understanding of my own body is influenced and constructed by the shifting social landscape surrounding the female nude. She used landscape twice, but she is not a landscape painter. I know you can all go and be like, well, the body's like anything can be a landscape. Okay, I can't go on or I'll just start to break down emotionally. That's a pretty old issue. That was the last time I had enough money to actually buy a copy of it. You can look at it in the library. That's what I would recommend. But if you're a painter, you probably already know this, but if you're a painter, you can submit and they might put your work in, and then you can put your stupid fucking 3 paragraphs about the banality of modern day internet communication phenomenological existence or whatever. I don't know. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't come off as a total cynical douchebag. But I just wanted to cover some of the things that pissed me off about that. I didn't have a Bible. It's God's fault. If you have problems about it, please complain to Him. If not, thank you for your time. Thank you for your goodwill.